few days ago, I was sat on this bench waiting for a haircut, and then I saw this. I wanted to find out more about Corporal Bray, his life, if his family is still living around the local area, who donated the bench, and if anyone's looking after it. So I just want to show you how I research that person. So we're going to start by using the basic information from the plaque, and I'm going to start by using Forces War Records, just putting in his details there, do a quick search. What I really want to find is his regimental number. That would give us a little bit more information. Just narrowed it down to World War I, and I'm guessing that he's North Staffordshire Regiment because the bench is in Staffordshire. So I'm going to narrow that down to his regimental number, 8151. And we can see there we've now expanded on his initials, so it's Arthur William. It's a good starting point. And that confirms he was killed in action on the 20th of May 1916. Gives you some more information on here. Burton-on-Trent's a good confirmation as well. That's where the bench is. So I'm pretty confident that that's the person that I want to research. I'm now going to go into Ancestry and start a new family tree with Arthur William Bray, clearly deceased, male. His date of birth was about 1886, I think, so I'm going to put that in there. And again, Burton-on-Trent. We know his death date, which was the 20th of May 1916. And I'm going to put his place down as Belgium. Can change that later, France and Flanders. And in order to create and save a tree in Ancestry, you need to at least put in one parent. And the information that we gathered from Forces War Records, we know his father was George William, and that's all we need just to save that tree. But we also know his mother was called Elizabeth. Unsure of her maiden name at the moment, so we're just going to put in Bray. And I've seen there's some ancestry hints come up straight away. It's not uncommon for soldiers of the wars to be easily found, and that looks brilliant. There is a photo there that I've drawn to that straight away, confirmation that that actually is him. So I'm going to save all these, and we can always come back to them and investigate them later. Interested solely at the minute with World War I. Looks like his regimental number's incorrect there. That may be just a mistake, but we can find out later on. But I'm pretty confident that's him. His date of death as well as the 21st of May, so we can do a little bit more investigation into that later on. I'm just going to save these. Yeah, that's the 20th of May in Belgium, 1916. Corporal with the staffs, 8151 regimental number. That's definitely the guy that we are researching. There's loads more information on here that we'll come back to and interrogate later on. But for now, that is enough information. So have a quick look at his profile picture and gain a lot of information from looking at military uniforms and insignias. I know it's the North Staffordshire Regiment, so let's just have a look at his cap badge. Can't really make that out, the age of the photograph. And also his shoulder titles. He's a corporal. So I'm pretty confident that's him. And I'm now going to go on to the Commonwealth War Graves Committee just to get a bit more information. Now we know. Surname Bray, Arthur. And this is where the service number is pretty critical, 8151, because that will narrow the search down. And there he is right at the top there. North Staffordshire Regiment. Definitely the guy we're looking for. See where he's buried now. And this gives you a little bit more information. Download his certificate. These are always nice to keep. Yeah, so they've recorded his death as the 20th of May 1916. While we're on the site, it's always worth having a look into the archives at the grave registration documentation. See if there's any additional information on there. And from that also we can get his location within the graveyard and easily find his grave if we so wish. There he is. A few errors there. You can see the error for his date of death as well. That's interesting. And the headstone information. Not much more additional information than what we already know. That confirms that that is him, 15 Tuttley Road. Quite a few errors. And there he is, 20th of May. Location 1 Echo, grave number 21. So now we can have a look at Dranouter Military Cemetery, where he's buried. Gives you all the information about the cemetery. Some nice photographs. Tells you how to get there, shows you a map. This is what I'm looking for. The cemetery plan. Just going to download that. We know he's in plot 1, row E, and it's grave number 21. Just mark that on the map. There we go. So just back with Ancestry now, looking at some more hints that are available to us. Again, in particular, anything that's related to World War I. Just going to save some more of these. Death place, France and Flanders. So we can change that now if we like by just selecting that on the left hand side and saving that. Really doesn't make too much of a difference. And these are always interesting as well. Find a grave. Come back to that later on. It's interesting that it's got their burial place in Burton-upon-Trent, contrary to the Commonwealth War Graves Commission data that we've seen. So we can have a look at that later on. And these are pretty critical. The medal card of the soldiers contain quite a bit of detailed information which you can have a look at a little bit later on again. I'm always interested to see where they were a couple of years before the war, so we can see the 1911 census there. See if he's in and around Burton-on-Trent. Right, it looks like he was serving with the North Staffordshire Regiment at that time. It looks like as well he was in barracks with the battalion. More than likely at Whittington Barracks in Lichfield, the home of the Staffordshire Regiment. So you can see now we're starting to build a good picture of Bray's life. Some quite detailed information in there already. And join me next time where we will continue our research.